welcome back to another edition of The Morning View.
Newsflash, Ugarte is being told by Ruben Amorim that he's not the player he was at Sporting, which we all could have told you that. I think we all could have told you that. I was going to say there had been a report. Wasn't really a report. It was kind of a thing that entered into the Manchester United online fandom, which probably shouldn't have. But it was kind of said in an open forum. But it's been asked to kind of be revoked. But the news still stands that Ruben Amorim has had harsh words at the same time he told Garnacho to find a new club, was the same time that he had harsh words towards Manuel Ugarte. And maybe Ugarte said to Ruben Amorim that you're also not the same manager that was at Sporting, because that's also evident as well. So, yeah, I mean, what they call it, apples and oranges, swings and roundabouts, this type of thing. But also we know this because he doesn't even start Ugarte, really, does he? So if that was his guy at Sporting, who you'd think on the way in, which I was quite excited for, Ruben Amorim will know Ugarte, they will get the best out of him then. Hasn't gone that way. Casemiro starts every single game. So, interesting. Let me know what you guys think about Manuel Ugarte. Has there been too much done on Manuel Ugarte in terms of the scrutiny that he gets? Obviously, that we was getting a little bit of a hard time with loads of stuff online, etc. That's probably a bit far, but let me know your thoughts on Manuel Ugarte as a player. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Happy Wednesday. Can we say it's the end of the international break? Is there any more games like tonight? I think it is the end, no? Feels like it is. There might be some, maybe the South American guys might, I don't think they'll play tonight. They might travel back today, which takes them ages, so they actually come back tomorrow. So, yeah, I think I'm going to say it's the end in my mind anyway. You know what I mean?
Yes, end of international break. All eyes are turning towards Anfield at the weekend. And Flex, some harsh words for Manuel Ugarte. A slap of reality, shall we say. And speaking of reality, you can get real about your health goals, and here's how.
Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own, OWEN, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months. And KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds. And Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds. And Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work.
Yes, let's get to work indeed. You can scan that QR code right there, and save up to 70% off using the code UV. You can get your Optimum Day, which is good for your weight loss goals. You can get your Optimum Night, which is good for your restorative sleep. You can purchase them individually or stack them together regarding whatever your health goals are. Yes, the building blocks of your health journey is Optimum. Yes. Stone Cold Steve Austin, don't do that. All the information is in the video description below and it's pinned in the chat. Use the code UV. You can save up to 70% off. Flex Ugarte. This is one of those great examples of this guy's rubbish. The manager then says this guy's rubbish. And then it turns into this manager's rubbish. You know what I mean? It's and actually this story, it's just such an international break story as well because of how this happened. So this is regarding the meeting that happened at the end of the season. It's the same meeting that Alejandro Garnacho was told by Ruben Amorim, you know, you better pray you find a new club. And this information comes courtesy of Laurie Whitwell. Kind of. The reason I say kind of, we got to do a bit of chronology here. So this account here, Paddy Keogh, does attacking football. I think he was previously called Odds FPL on social media. He said, my mate is at the Talk of the Devil show in Dublin, which is the Athletics podcast. It's got Laurie Whitwell, Andy Mitten. Who else is on there? Carl Anker is on there. And they're doing live shows, which happens quite a lot of podcasts and international breaks.
They're killing it, by the way. It's really popular.
Yeah. So this account said, my mates at this show, I'm going to tweet some of the stuff he tells me is going on. One of the things that they got told was this, that Ruben Amorim, when he had that sort of end of the season meeting with the whole squad, in which he told Garnacho, you better pray you find a new club. He said to Manuel Ugarte, you are not the same player that you were at Sporting, is what he said. You're not the same player, which, to Flex's point, he could have been pushed back to Ruben Amorim. So you're not the same coach that you were at Sporting or what have you. But clearly those that were doing Talk of the Devils, they maybe weren't necessarily happy with this information coming out, because very quickly it came out going, I've been requested to delete those stories that was shared, and I've done so on request. Then it got picked up by all of the aggregators. It was out by that point. It was out. So too little, too late. Didn't know it was not requested to share. Apologies, because by all accounts, they do say at the beginning of these shows that this is for these walls only. Don't go out and repeat, what's being said at these shows. And this got out. So naturally, then it gets into, why have you got a problem if it's getting out? If it's what was said, then it was what was said. I think sometimes maybe it's part of. Sometimes with these sort of podcast live shows, it's kind of like, well, maybe you wouldn't be totally comfortable saying that on a recorded setting, but if it's not in a recorded setting, maybe it's a bit different. I don't know. Either way, it looks like, this was said to Manuel Ugarte. And like I said, it's an interesting one, Flex, because look, Ugarte, since he's come to United, he's been quite heavily criticised, isn't it? Going, not really that good enough. Technically, he's not good, can't pass the ball, what have you. And then if that is what Ruben Amorim said, it's not really a lie, is it? You know what I mean?
No,
he's probably not the same player he was at Sporting.
Well, he says it there.
And he doesn't pick Ugarte as often as maybe people thought he would, considering the prior.
That's the context there about interpreting that properly. Done in KG there. Interpretation. No, interpret. Yeah. Wait. No, he said, what did he say? Interpret is the word. Interpretating. Interpret is the word.
Yeah, you're interpreting.
Yeah, but he says interpretating.
Interpretating.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That was it. He even got me confused there when I thought interpretating is the way.
Hey, if you go down that KG road.
You could end up anywhere. Sorry, I picked up there because V was like, you're not the same players. And then he says, you need context before you can interpret that properly. Well, you talk about interpreting. Well, let's be honest. The interpreting has been done because he doesn't get picked.
No.
He doesn't get picked, and that's his guy. That tells us the context behind it. Whether when he said it, he meant, get out of my sight, you're crap, this, that, and the other, or meant, you're not the same, actually. I've noticed you've got some different traits that I was unaware of. Well, the team selection tells us it was probably a negative connotation in terms.
And also, I think the background of what that meeting probably was. You know what I mean? In the same meeting, Garnacho's
like everyone got it.
It feels like it was very much a kind of, right, this is after the Europa League final. This is a debrief of F you guys. A lot of you guys ain't going to be here anymore. Blah, blah, blah. I'm still going to be, because this was right around the time that he'd sort of been backed in the sense of, look, Amorim's not going anywhere over the summer. He's going to stick around and this, that, and the other. But I do find it quite interesting that, like I said, you have large groups of people saying that he's not good enough. Amorim allegedly says he's not good enough, and then Amorim gets criticised. But this is, once again, bad man management of players. He's fallen out with Rashford, he's fallen out with Garnacho. I don't even think this is necessarily him falling out with Manuel Ugarte either, because Ugarte's still around and all that. I think what is an interesting point, though, and I have seen this brought up, Flex. I wonder what you think of this. So if Ruben Amorim at the end of the season, or just before the end of the season, is in a meeting saying, Garnacho, you need to go. And I don't even know if Rashford was part of this meeting, but you need to go this, that, and the other. And he's looking at Manuel Ugarte and saying, you're not the same player that you were at Sporting. That would imply that Ruben Amorim is very aware that in terms of midfield options, we are lacking and we do not have the strongest midfield that we possibly could. So why did we not sign a midfielder then in the summer?
Exactly.
If he's going out saying the ones that we've got aren't necessarily who they used to be, that raises a big question, doesn't it?
I think so. And we all said it in the summer of like, this is a risky one, isn't it? Trying to basically not get a midfielder, okay, getting a whole new attack, but our midfield is crap. And someone like Ugarte, so limited, so limited. I don't understand what's wrong with calling it as it is with Ugarte. Don't need to be mean. I don't agree with when he posts a picture of him and his missus. All of a sudden in the comments, you're saying you're trash. Get out of my club. Because I think there was a period in an international break, maybe the first one, where that was happening, or even in the summer, and it was like, what are we doing here? But if it's just a Ugarte football discuss, you go, has a bit of a streak, can get about the pitch. In some games, you know, he does break up play all right, but extremely limited, way too limited to be in a two-man midfield for what we're trying to do. He's another one that, again, he's not great, but if you stuck him in a three-man midfield with some other guys who could run around, say that to you, and some guys who could play, he'd probably be all right.
Isn't it interesting we're saying that about Kobe and Ugarte? We're going in a three, they would look.
I mean,
it's like a solution might be a three.
Yeah, Ugarte definitely is way more limited than Kobe, but even in this system, he'll be preferred to Kobe because he can get about, get in people's faces. He always fouls, picks up yellow card. I'm not saying these are always great things, but he can break up play and get after people. And I remember James saying, because we disagreed, I think it was the City game, and he was like, "Mate, I watched the game back. Like first half, Ugarte was like, he's an Ugarte fan." And not for me, but then when I did see some of the replays back, because obviously there was a period in that game where we're like, we're actually doing fine here. Like everything's okay. And we do forget those periods because they don't ever go on to mean anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, like when we go, I've been on the match views with you where we say, tell you what, Owen, tell you what, Flex, moving the ball well, playing out from the back. That's good. Tell you what, corner. That's good.
Well, I don't know if I can say moving the ball well for Manchester United. I mean, that's probably a stretch.
You get my drift, yeah.
Yes,
like, there's just but then we are always lacking, and the City game was actually a good example of that, where we're like, oh, you can win it back there. Oh, lost it again. We're both playing. We're giving as good as we're getting, and the quality's not that good right now. So we're in the game. But then, like Compost Smell says, then we just concede or whatever. But yes, Ugarte, back to him. He's extremely limited. You can't build up with him. When you ask him to pass forward with pace between the lines, he can't do it. He gets the ball nabbed off him. And like I said, in a different setup with two other midfielders that could really play, and he could be, no disrespect, but, the ugly one that just sticks his foot in and plays the first pass, which is the right pass. It might work somewhere else, but for what we're trying to do, obviously, with this two-man midfield, and even if we weren't, he's just not good enough. That's it. He just ain't it. He's not good. That's it. You can have a good game here or there, or a good half an hour, or a good 90 minutes, and we might have won and he played. But overall, he's not good enough. You don't get in to all the other midfields that we're trying to go up against. It's that simple.
Don't you think it's kind of, and looking at that PSG team now and that PSG midfield, it's almost a bit laughable that he used to play for them. You know what I mean? Because there's just no way he would be able to get in that PSG midfield. Just no way for what is asked of those PSG midfielders. In Neves and co. Like there's just no way. Not in a million years with the technical expertise required. He's just not that kind of player. It's almost a bit. Was Enrique there when they signed Ugarte? Was he the coach when they signed Ugarte, or was that a prior
question?
One? Because
based off his principles, surely he wouldn't have.
Yeah,
So I think he got there and Ugarte was already there.
Yeah, look at that midfield, Batinha, Neves. It's just I just can't. It's just difficult to kind of fathom that one.
I went, ugh.
It's just difficult to kind of fathom, isn't it? But yeah, so when it comes to the comments, I don't actually. I think almost actually a little bit was maybe too much made of like coming out, because it's like, well, yeah, it's true. You know, I think that, I suppose, depending on whatever your agenda is probably where you kind of hyper focus on this. So if you're not an Ugarte fan, you probably look at it coming out and go, see, you know, even manager don't rate him. If you're not a Ruben Amorim fan, then it gets twisted into, he's just falling out with players. I'm not the biggest Ruben Amorim fan of what he's done at Man United so far, but I don't look at that and go, see, this is why Ruben Amorim won't work at United. No, Ruben Amorim's not working at Man United because he's not winning games. It's got nothing to do with, you know, calling the shitty players shit. You know what I mean? I don't think that's an issue with that at all. So, yeah, but I do think it maybe speaks to a wider sense of, so Ruben Amorim's clearly aware that there's a midfield issue at United, and we just didn't really address that in the summer. And it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know about that. That does rear some interesting questions of, surely if he's talking to Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada all the time, they must have been aware then. Like, I know we're spending a lot of money on strikers, you know, and attacking players in tens, and maybe the mindset was just, we'll score more goals. We'll get through the season with an average midfield. Yeah, which is a risk. That is a massive risk to take.
But they still tried to go after Baleba and Conor Gallagher, so they didn't really truly believe that themselves. Really.
Exactly. Well, yeah, and
they obviously wanted or thought we can maybe get less. Look, they didn't ever put a bid in for Baleba. They realized how much he was going to cost.
But they were willing to bring the budget forward, you know, because they clearly knew they needed a midfielder, you know. But they've taken the risk of going, all right, this season's budget's gone on striker, 2 10s, backup keeper. That's what we're doing. We'll get through. It may be minimum to January, because to say we don't really know what they're going to do in January. They actually might be quite active, might they? So, but they've clearly taken the risk of, we'll get through it. We'll get through it with the midfield that we've got. And hey, that's a bit concerning when you've got, you know, Casemiro, Bruno as your starting midfield, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which has gone on to be that. I was speaking to the legend that is Tim Vickery yesterday on my TalkSport show. Of course, Brazilian guru, South American guru, amazing journalist, knows.
So he's got the handheld mic as well.
Always
never one of these. Mic. Always handheld in his little office.
Yeah, exactly. So he was basically talking about Casemiro. I asked him about Casemiro because I was like, Tim, we were talking about Brazil's number 9s and how since R9, like, who's been good? You know what I mean? He's been good. It's crazy. And then once we'd done that, I sort of said, actually, while I've got you, like Casemiro, like, what a turnaround sort of thing. Like, you know, leave the football before the football leaves you, you know, from Jamie Carragher. Good thing he didn't listen to his advice, because he's kind of got his career back again, really. Squad, He's back in the Brazil squad.
Yeah.
But Tim did say, and it's so interesting how we watch and see the same thing. He's like, well, yeah, I mean, they had a game against Argentina where they got absolutely stuffed and they lost their first home game in qualification for like how many years. So one of the first things that Ancelotti did, one of the immediate things he did as soon as he got in the job, is bring Casemiro back, because there was no order in the midfield, like just leadership, know-how, etc., etc. And he says that, you know, when you watch him play, he is that little yard off where, you know, he's getting yellow cards or he's diving in. I goes, yeah, I call that Casemiro special, you know. So there's that.
Yeah.
But he said, well, yeah, the thing is with Casemiro is that you have to understand that he's not really the solution long term, but right now he's just basically given a little bit of stability. By the time it even gets to the World Cup, you know, how would he be? What would he be like? But he's not the answer going forward, but he does allow a few of the other ones to play. As long as he just gets it, plays that first pass and gets out of there, then you can play him. But even as it keeps going on, it's not that. And that's the guy we got in our midfield. That's like, you know, essential. Like, what are we going to do if he's not playing?
Well, he got suspended. We were going, bloody hell. You know what I mean? Who's going to come in? That's good. We're going to have to play Ugarte. We're going to have to play
Well,
Ugarte.
on Casemiro, ESPN was sort of suggesting that, he could stay beyond the 2026, the summer of 26. I mean,
disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
They even put the eyes. Is that just international break talk?
Yes.
Is that? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. I mean, my favorite part about that was he could stay. He might have to take a pay cut. Might have to take a pay cut. It's hard to be a player at the club.
No, wait a minute. Wait.
He might have to take a pay cut. You really? Is that what? I mean, look what's happened the last few years at Manchester United. Right, there is a very dedicated effort, isn't there, to reducing the wage bill. Pretty much all high earners at United, whether it's De Gea, whether it's Rashford, Sancho, Varane, Eriksen, they're all going because they're deemed to be on too high wages, not reflective. They're not value for money. Casemiro is going to be the same. Casemiro. I wouldn't even be shocked, to be honest, if that was like, Casemiro's people coming out going, I could stay. Maybe if I'd be willing to take a pay cut. I bet you would. I bet you would be willing to take a pay cut, because even if he took a pay cut, let's say he took like, I don't know, a third off his wage, he'd probably still be happy with that. Yeah, I'll take that.
100%.
Probably. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll take that. No problem. So, no, he's going on a free at the end of the season, isn't he? I think. And then actually, it works out well for him, because he goes on a free at the end. Well, his contract expires at the end of the season. He probably, like you're saying, he's probably going to be playing at the World Cup, isn't he, for Brazil? Not that I don't think Brazil are going to go win it or anything like that, but that will mean that he's going to be in the shop window at least. So he'll get a club, and he's Casemiro, so he'll get a club. He'll be fine. He'll do fine off it. Maybe eventually we'll end up going to Saudi. I don't know, but what kind of Tim Vickery saying to you there is true, in the sense that I think we kind of do get a little bit lost sometimes, don't we, in the romanticism of Brazil, the Brazil national team, and you do then have to kind of remind yourself of it's not what it used to be. You know what I mean? This is gone are the days of R9, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Cafu. You know what I mean? It's like it's not.
Dani
it's
Alves,
Carlos.
Marcelo.
It's like it's just It's just not that at the moment. They got,
but
still
he was
got
saying
really good players.
Yeah, he was saying, but when he broke it down, he was like, they just the people that are up for debate to be their striker are all from the Premier League. So it's like Mateus Cunha, Igor Jesus, Igor Thiago, Muniz. I'm missing one other as well, off the top of my head. And it's like none of them like light it up, but like they wanted Vinicius Junior not just on the left where everybody marks him, so they kind of try and play him through the middle or in the 10. Martinelli maybe on the left. You've got Rodrigo. He said Esteval. That's what I would say. It's a bit of it. He's saying Esteval is it.
Yeah, and they still they still got like you said, Vinny Junior.
João Pedro, that was the other one. Sorry, yeah.
Esteval. So it's not as if they don't have players.
Yeah,
but it's not at the moment. I suppose maybe it's not in that territory of like those Brazilian teams, or even like the Brazilian teams of like say like the 70s or stuff like that. It's not that.
And even since R9, it's been like Pato, Luis Fabiano. He used to play for Sevilla. Remember him? Yeah, he was good for them. Fred, they had a striker called Fred. I remember.
Yeah, I remember that. Hulk.
Remember Fred? Hulk. Adriano had a stint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These type of guys is not. What's his name? Remember Wagner Love?
Yeah.
Joe.
These type of Joe.
Guys. Yeah. Do you know Evan Nilsson wasn't mentioned at all? Evan Nilsson hasn't been mentioned really. He is Brazilian, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know why he hasn't been mentioned. But yeah,
Julia Baptista.
Baptista the Beast. And we went to Arsenal for a little bit. Michel Bastos, I remember him. So they've had this period of players that have just kind of gone through. But in terms of the discussion was about the number 9. Obviously, the iconic R9 is that exactly. Diego Costa even chose Spain. Crazy. And it was meant to be for Jesus, and then he said it just went horribly wrong in that 18 World Cup where he didn't score a goal. And then he also had an interview where he's like, well, you know, scoring goals isn't even that important to me. And they went, no, you're not for us. And then just injuries, he's done out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember when City signed him, Gabriel Jesus, he was meant to be like, oh, he's going to be, you know, big striker, come from Palmeiras or wherever it was. And it was and it just never really. Not do I say that? Not as if he wasn't successful.
In times he did well. Yeah, he won leagues. And when he went to Arsenal, it was like, right, they're getting that Premier League proven winner. You know,
and he did improve them.
He did improve them, but he couldn't score enough goals. But he presses like mad, couldn't get the ball off him. I remember watching him against Varane one time at Old Trafford going, fucking, he's incredible. You can't get the ball off him. You know what I mean? Wicked. But then now the injuries have done him, really. And he was talking about Savinho as well. Like, you know, he was supposed to be the next one, and then it's kind of gone wrong for him at City, but he did sign a new deal, which I was surprised against. So, yeah. But anyway, this is not the Brazil view. But yeah.
I suppose maybe we're thinking a bit World Cup-ish. England qualified last night. You know what I mean? Thomas Tuchel. Was it perfect record so far going into?
Do you know what? You see what I'm saying? What we say about England? Remember a few games ago?
I watched it last night.
Yeah, so did I actually. They were fine.
We were good.
Shit, easy game.
Latvia crap, but we
just
were
go
good.
mash them up. Yeah, we were good. And like,
I tell you, is good Flex. Yeah, I tell you, is good. And I know this is going to be like British bias and this, that, and the other, but loosely United affiliated because Eric Ten Hag wanted him apparently. Yeah, Harry Kane. He's one of those players. Yeah, when he does decide to retire, like the revisionism in the sense of realizing, oh, actually, he was really good. Like he is actually incredible. Like he is ridiculous. Like in terms of lethal, just scores goals.
When he scored that left foot goal, I went, how the fuck's he scored that? Like, and then I saw the replay. I was like, because he fell over a bit. I was like, oh, might have been deflected. Let me have a look at that. Clean stroke into the corner, weaker foot outside of the boot. But yeah, I mean, I find it hard because I'm someone who massively appreciates how good he is. I think most people do. Man. He's incredible, bro. Like,
wow, you say that, but when we were like half linked with him a couple of years ago before he went to Bayern,
people weren't having it.
We even made excuses to not buy Harry Kane. Yeah, exactly. Hey, but when we linked to him, too old. Remember, there's no real resale value in Harry Kane. What the fuck? I will live and die on that thing of. We tried to convince ourselves that Harry Kane wouldn't have been a good signing for us. Go, well, you know, he was older. Remember, but Flex, he's never won anything. Plays for Spurs. And then guess what? We allowed Spurs to win something a few years later. Injury prone, that was another one. Injury prone. He's never won anything. Is he actually that good? Oh, my God. Even with the lack of service that he would have got at Man United, he'd still be getting goals. That's how good Harry Kane is. He is outrageous. His numbers for Bayern Munich, and I know you could say, look, Bayern Munich, Bundesliga, whatever, but his numbers.
But he's done more than anyone else who's ever played there. Though.
He's broke like Lewandowski records already.
Yeah,
in the
outrageous. And what's good about what he's done is that he's done it the other way around. Of like, say he'd never played in the Premier League, but he was from there and doing that. You go, but Premier League though, and he's different. He's mashed up the Premier League, and then gone and like. Not just gone over there and done well, broke all the records over like Lewandowski and guys like that. Like, do you know what I mean? So
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's better record than Gerd Muller and Lewandowski. Like, it's mad.
And that's not even like, oh yeah, because it's a shithouse league or anything like that. It's like, well, all right, yeah, maybe it is, but he's still been able to do better numbers than other people did in same shithouse league. Like, you know what I mean? It's just he is outrageous, and I think maybe
proves
don't really
when the book is closed on his career, and I don't know if he'll ever admit it, maybe he won't have any regrets because of everything how he's panned out. He believes that's just what it was supposed to be. It just proves he should have had them first few years at Spurs, and when Pochettino got out of there, if he went then and went to bloody Bayern, won stuff from then, or went to City, when he should have, he could have been Haaland, winning all them Premier Leagues. Well, they won. Haaland's got 3 Premier Leagues, isn't he? 2 Premier Leagues.
Well, Haaland's got everything already, hasn't he? He's got Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, you know, done it all. Yeah,
he's done it all. But I mean, he's got 2 Prems though, innit? Haaland. The first season and the second
23.
season.
Yeah.
Then this is his first season last year. He didn't win it. Wait, is that right? Is this Haaland's 4th season? This is third season. Man. He's got one Premier League. Sorry, yeah. He's got
first season was when they won the treble. Next season was
last season.
This is his fourth. This is his
fourth season, isn't it?
Fourth season, yeah, fourth season.
Because after they won the treble, they won it again, didn't they? The league. Next year. Yeah.
I'm thinking of it. I'm thinking of it of like the way I look at it is the FA Cup finals against us. So you go first season, they beat us in the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Next season
they didn't.
We beat them in the FA Cup final. Then there's
they got to the final 3 years in a row.
Yeah, and there's last season they didn't win the FA Cup final, and this is the fourth.
Right, that's crazy. But that's mad though. They got to 3 Premier League. Only won one though, to be fair.
Only won one, yeah.
Only won one. So it's not like he got to 3 and exactly. Yeah, I am right. He has got 2 Prem. Someone was throwing me off saying he's got 1. I was like, that doesn't make sense. So he's got 2 Premier Leagues already. Anyway, that could have been Harry Kane.
Did Robbie say that? Jesus will outscore Haaland.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Well, the HMRC thing. Carell got a lot of. He's done a lot. There's loads. There's loads. Yeah. Well, my one was I said Amrabat's better than Rice. So.
Yeah. Hey, look, Amrabat's one of the reasons we've still got our halftime record that tackle he did against Newcastle. It deflects onto the bar. Amrabat, mate. Legacy.
Oh, mate. Yeah.
That ages poorly, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Remember like the kind of celebrations we were doing of signing Sofian Amrabat on loan on deadline day?
100%, bro. I was saying exactly what we need. This, that, and the other.
That aged very, very poorly going.
And I said to Carell, though, I said, there's a different... We're content creators who go on the internet and we're mad. And basically, we make predictions when things happen. So there's a difference between capping versus a bad take. Capping is Owen saying, "Yeah, I tell you what, I've done a couple of videos with KSI before. Actually, we was on a shoot with Sports Direct. Yeah, we was on a shoot with Sports Direct with Harry Kane, me, Chunks, and KSI. Yeah, I was on that. And then you go, right. Here's the video with Sports Direct, isn't it? That's capping. But when we just make predictions where we go, I tell you what, we've signed this kid Højlund. I think he's going to be up there. I honestly think he's going to be really good. And it turns out that he's not. Well, it's just a bad take, isn't it? It just didn't age.
Yeah, wow.
You've got to predict football. But then he steps in for the mad ones when you're far away from like what you said, which is obviously saying Amrabat's better than Rice is very far.
Yeah.
Even at that stage, I should just never say.
Yeah, I saw he did one with Rio, and I think he said that like Doué was going to win Ballon d'Or or something like that.
But that was his opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, because he scored the Champions League final. He's like, he's going to win Ballon d'Or.
But what I liked about it, he's going, just remember what you're saying in the moment. You don't have to go that far. Chill out.
Yeah, that's true.
Did it, yeah, which is true.
Yeah, that is.
And even
true.
Rio was getting pressed. He's like, give me a break, man. Give me a squeeze, man. So everyone's feeling the pressure. And then, so that's what Paddy McGuinness bring it up on his podcast. Like, Carell's doing really well. So it's good to see something new.
Well, that's true. Show says Garnacho world-class talent. That one won't escape, will it?
How do you mean? Well, depends if he fulfills his world-class potential at Chelsea or afterwards. Still young. So that's still out there.
And you will always, and this is me defending you here, you will always say, look, you were backed into a corner, you were defending your player at the time. You know what I mean?
did admit that.
You weren't gonna back down to a Spurs fan. You know what I mean?
No.
You've got
in my studio, and at that point they hadn't beaten us in a European final or anything like that. It was like, you and your mid players, I'm not having that off Toby coming in here. You're Spurs. Don't talk to me like that. So I got a bit, But this is what you say in the moment. Yeah. And like I said, we don't know.
That's a good one. Is Amrabat better than Ugarte? Chat. Thoughts? Who would you rather have? Amrabat, Ugarte?
Oh, God. It's just about Amrabat, maybe.
I tell you what, it's an interesting one, isn't it?
Why does Lil Yo-Yo love Amrabat so much?
I don't know.
He loves him. He said he got a shirt earlier.
Because with Ugarte, look, you would say,
Fred's better than all of them. I do know that.
Yeah, Fred, I would have Fred over them. Yeah, I definitely would. Because Fred actually technically was a bit underrated. He scored some good goals. You know what I mean? Good assists. You know what I mean? We just didn't realise at the time. Actually, do you know who I'd have over all of them? Over Amrabat, over Ugarte, over Fred? Scott McTominay, obviously. You know what I mean?
mental.
We didn't know what
Saw
we
a
had.
goal score
But
for
actually,
Scotland the other day.
different
No,
role,
but not in the
isn't it? You know what I mean?
midfield. Yeah,
But different role.
We can't-
But out
yeah.
of those two, who would I have? I've seen Amrabat have better games for us than I've seen Ugarte.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Amrabat, I'm not going to rewrite history. He was fucking turning like a truck as well, mate.
Oh,
Like-
God, he can't run.
Like, we shouldn't even be doing this, man. Like, a neutral's going to be watching this going, look at the state of these lot.
Amrabat, it
Was
is
Amrabat better
incredible.
than? Was he better than? What are we doing? I don't want to
Amrabat-
participate in this conversation, bro. It makes me feel
Do you remember-
sick.
Do you remember there was a story? I think it came out in Sir Alex Ferguson's autobiography where he said, like, United decided against signing Jordan Henderson because he ran. He had a weird gait and he didn't run properly. Fast forward all these years later, we sign Amrabat, who runs like he sort of was sat down in a chair. You know what I mean? That kind of.
Why can't we?
Orthopedic.
You know, when we watch all the teams and then we see their play, why can't we just have wicked players everywhere? Why can't I just fall in love with a team again? I like all the players. I can big them up against anyone else's players. Like, why can't we just recruit goods? Why?
And even that, the best thing with Amrabat as well is, so we got him on deadline day on loan, and we're like, we ran after Mbappe at the World Cup, this, that, and the other. For the first few games, we played him at left back because we didn't have one. We were like, this Amrabat thing at left back might work. Like, then the second game, he played at left back again. We went, never play him at left back ever again. He can't move. So we had. I mean, I know things are
against
bad.
Palace we played him against left back.
Yeah, in the Carabao Cup when
In the Carabao
we won
Cup.
that game,
And we
were
went,
like,
this is
"Oh
it.
my
He
God."
can invert into
Yeah.
midfield. It's fine. We've solved it. Then we played him against them straight after again, and then they beat us.
Yeah,
in the cup.
never again.
In the league,
And
sorry.
Stop your
It's
Amrabat
just
at left
pathetic,
back.
man.
Oh my
And
God.
that I do agree with the whole scars of the past year. I'm so not gonna be going all in for like things early doors now. And I know they say that's nonsense, Flex. If you're a fan, you can't
fan.
that.
Yes, you gotta be a
But we're
fan.
so. I think we've been so scarred by it. I'm not on it, bro. I'm not on it. I'm not on
Yeah.
doing that. I'm not, because it's
Say
just
that Flex this weekend, Liverpool. You know what I mean?
Liverpool, mate. What
If
are
we
doing?
if we
bro?
get a
What are we
result,
doing now?
if we get a result, do you not
We ain't getting
believe?
the result.
Do you not believe?
I don't believe we can win. No.
Hey, that's a good one. Someone mentioned this in the chat. Who's better, Ugarte or Sabitzer?
Well, Sabitzer could get on the ball.
I'd have Sabitzer.
Yeah,
I'd have Sabitzer any day of the week.
Yeah, Sabitzer.
In this midfield and midfield now, I'd have Sabitzer in there. Pass the ball forward a bit.
Got a bit of
Well,
tech.
great. You know what I mean?
No, he
What
wasn't.
amazing. But
No, he wasn't. I forgot he was there. Yeah, won the Carabao Cup with us, didn't he?
yeah, scored a goal in the FA Cup, little flick against Fulham.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. When it was all
And he's
going
always-
off that game.
Yeah, exactly. Always had his short sleeves and gloves. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the look. That was Sabitzer look.
I remember Marcel Sabitzer. Remember I told you that story that I was at Carrington, and it was basically the end for him, and he was just sitting on the bench.
I remember you saying
just messaging his family, talking to his just like he looked so slow. Right, Marcel, you right? He says, "Hey, you okay?" I said, "Yeah, good." Then just left, but he was so awkward. He was done. And he was finished. Because I don't know whether I'm making this up or not. Shout out HMRC. I'm asking the question: was he injured near the end and just didn't even play?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was injured
that
towards
was-
the
yeah.
end, and I think missed the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of justified, wasn't it? Of like, oh, we did have a buy option, but there are better options out there. There are better
Yeah.
options out there.
Then we
So
went
we
and got
shouldn't
Ugarte.
get him. No, that was the summer we got Mason Mount.
Oh yeah.
Got Mason. The better option was Mason Mount for 55 plus 5 of a year left of his contract. And then 3 years in, we're now going, okay, starting to play games now, Mason. That was the all-time worst transfer window ever. That is one where, Athletic, if they'd asked the agents that year and said who had the worst transfer window and they put Man United at the top of the list, I'd go, I can't argue against that. Transfer window of Onana, Mount, Højlund, Johnny Evans, and our best signing was Johnny Evans, and he's retired now. It was only a couple of years ago.
That's mad. He's retired now. Like you forget that. Like He's literally just retired, and he was one of our in that first season where he signed. He was one of the best players.
Yeah, he was our best. He was our best signing, and to the point where initially he came with us just to train. He wasn't even sure if he was going to, retire or not. Came with us to train. Fast forward a couple months later, he's starting regularly. Manchester derby at Old Trafford. Johnny Evans at centre back. Alongside Harry Maguire. Raphael Varane dropped. It was like just a wild situation, a wild time to say the least. Speaking of wild flex, we've got over 1,100 people watching right now. We're only at 230 likes. That is
run it up.
Wild.
Run it up, people. Run it up. Come on.
So if you haven't already, if you've enjoyed this trip down, memory lane so far this morning,
why not?
Click the like.
I did want to. There was an interesting little quote just to bring it to you guys if you didn't see it from Thibaut Courtois on Sonny Lomans, because we are about to face Liverpool. We're going to find out about Sonny. He says his first game was a flavour of what United will get. He's a tall guy. We have seen that. He's not afraid to come on crosses. We've seen that. Pause. And he's a kid with personality. Well, because
how is that a pause? Nobody was thinking that. Nobody was thinking that.
Owen, this community, and along with KG,
pausing there. Why are you even pausing?
Owen,
that's just dark.
Nah, Owen, I'm telling you, these lot they know no limits. So I was just protecting ourselves. That's what I was doing.
I don't.
I'm not 5, but as long as we can all agree that they're not on it, that's good. They're not on doing that.
I don't think anyone was. I thought.
Okay. Well then, I guess what? Accountability. I can stand corrected and say I got the community wrong, because every time it's don't say pause because I hate it.
For 9:49 a.m. That was. I mean that was
right. Okay. Cool. It wasn't
a proper turn.
Right. Yeah. No. Pause PTSD 100% because I hate it. Look what KG has done. 100%. I was cussing with KG. We was arguing about this, going, "This is foolishness." But I just thought we had to protect ourselves. Clearly, I didn't think it's a safe environment.
I didn't even know if you really meant to do it. I think it was just instinct. That's the one.
No, I did.
Me.
No,
I just did pause. Just wow.
Yeah. Fleck Van Dark. Okay, well, we can all agree that that's not a pause. Yeah? So, all right, then. So, watch this then. So, I'm just going to read out what Courtois was saying. Right?
Okay.
Right. Thibaut Courtois, Sonny Lomans. His first game was a flavour of what United will get. He's a tall guy. He's not afraid to come on crosses. And he's a kid with personality. I'm sure he can do a good job. He has a tough game this weekend. So I hope if he plays, it will go well for him. All the best for him. And he says about playing at Anfield, he goes, "It's a hard stadium. Maybe I should tell him to clap." No, don't need to. What does that
even mean? What, it's made of concrete, obviously.
It's a hard stadium to play in, he must mean, in brackets. I've added that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should tell him to clap the home fans when he arrives at the Kop! ! I think that's a bit because he's you're going to get a shit reception. But anyway, from the Belgian legend that is Courtois, Thibaut. Obviously Sonny Lomans has been on international duty. He even posted a picture. I saw Courtois with them all training and stuff. Big game, man. Big game for Sonny Lomans. It's so big.
He's playing then, yeah. There's no scenario where he doesn't play.
Sure, if he does that sackable offense, because what are you portraying to the players? If he can come in, get a debut against Sunderland, 2-0, everyone's feeling good about it. Then you just put
clean
Altai
sheet
back in. That's what I'm saying. Clean sheet. Like that would just be. You think Altai starts show? No, guys. Do we think that Altai Bayindir could start this game?
I don't think so.
No,
but
way.
if he does, how can you be basically chasing a clean sheet all season? Get it?
Yeah.
When this guy makes his debut, and then be like, right, no, I don't want that again. So he's gonna play. Surely he's gonna play. And
as long as he plays all right, this should be it. Now he should be.
And this isn't even to just try and be like, oh, we're going to lose and what have you. But if he concedes a couple of goals, which chances I probably will, then he should still start the next game. It's fine. We've seen Bayindir, Onana have absolute stinkers and start the next game, right? So, no issue.
Yeah, you don't change your goalkeeper
no
every time you lose a game.
No, exactly. Or concede a goal, anything like that. And that's also, I think, a bit to the fans. We're obviously gassing up Lomans after that first game, and he did well, and this, that, and the other. But it must also be pointed out that if he concedes, doesn't make him a terrible goalkeeper. If he makes a mistake, doesn't make him a terrible goalkeeper as well. These things happen. Interesting flex. Our own Dylan from UD, United District, and also DR, and What the Devil. He's just posted in the last 10 seconds, according to this, saying that he spoke to Laurie Whitwell and he's confirmed that the recent quote floating around regarding Amorim and Ugarte is inaccurate. is inaccurate. So who knows? Shut the channel down.
Yeah. There you go. It's over.
Change the thumbnail, change the title.
We just did all that for nothing.
Well, we spoke about it for like 10 minutes. We kind of then just, spoke about Ugarte and Amrabat and Fred, But these are the dangers. These are the dangers, isn't it? If I was Laurie, what I would have done, if someone asked me, is that quote true? I'd have gone, buy a ticket, find out.
Yeah, go find out. Sell it, mate. Sell it. Yeah, 100%. Sell it. There you go. I said to KG yesterday, are you ready? And he knows what the
what's he done?
He said he asked. No, he hasn't really done anything. To be fair to him, he's asked me like what I'm on, and I said, bro, reverse judge is what it's at. I said the community voted. The community basically expressed how they want me to go about it, and he said, I like that actually. He goes, yeah. He goes, but I've already been on Filthy saying like we're gonna win. I goes, that's fine. It doesn't matter. You can check, bro. Just change it. Doesn't matter when it's today and we start looking forward to it.
You two have been very open about how you go on different platforms, and we'll just say
he's already said on Best of Enemies we're going to win. It doesn't matter. Well, then on his own channel,
KG's sitting on a tiny chair on Best of Enemies. I think
exactly
the idea of
you have to. Yeah, you've got to stand up for yourself. You can't just keep taking licks every day.
And and by the way, that's just, if you don't believe in Oxford Natural by Gowan Life, look at that chair that KG sat on. I'm telling you, a year ago, that whole bit would not be possible.
Yeah,
now,
it wouldn't.
And I'm speaking as a former fat man myself. Okay, if that got presented to me, we want you to sit on this small chair, I'd be like, well, I can't do that. Why? It's not going to last. How long's the shoot?
It's not going to work for me.
It's not going to work out. Now it's on the chair, no problem. Yeah. That's subscribe. Use the QR code. Get 70% off. Use the code UV.
Get subscribing. There you go. Good little segue there. Nice segue there.
Nice. Practical.
But yes, he has joined in. He's gone. I do like the reverse judge claim. So just to let you guys know, I will be doing previews with AGT tomorrow. We're still on that. Yeah, just do the reverse. There's no way we're beating you, AGT. I mean, you're just too strong. You've lost 3 in a row now, and it's the perfect game to get going again. You haven't played at Anfield for 3 games. Crowd's going to be up. It's the perfect time. This is the game you want to get your season back on track and prove the naysayers and the doubters that you're on a slippery slide. This is exactly what you want. Our away record, and I'm going to bring the stats. Look at our away record. Look at the last 9 away games we've played. Look at this. I can't even remember victory in the last 9 away games, let alone victory here at Anfield. Haven't done that in 10 years.
Well, it would be terrible. They haven't won in, 3 games in a row. They've lost. And 4th against Man United, that would be devastating. I mean, maybe that's a sackable offence, Arnie Slot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I tell you what would be embarrassing, Flex, wouldn't be embarrassing if the worst signing of the summer, Benjamin Šeško, scores a goal against you at Anfield. That would be embarrassing. Forget he's got 2 and 2. Have you heard the agents? Worst signing of the summer. So no chance. And you got some of the best signings of the summer, Florian Wirtz, Isak. They're going to score goals.
But is it more what Lyle says there, though? But the reverse judge needs to be believable in case we do lose. Then we can say, "Told you so." So do I do a serious reverse judge? Like seriously breaking it down. We are. I get it. On our day, we could show up and the last couple of do an actual accurate, but still say we're gonna do still reverse, but it's a believable reverse of but it's beyond us. I've seen no evidence to, which is actually how I feel though.
Just be honest. I was gonna say, just share what you think. Just basically, we're not gonna win. We're not actually that good. We can only beat newly promoted sides this season, or sides. The way that we've got the best chance at Anfield on Sunday would be one, if Liverpool had just been promoted. That's not true. They won the Premier League, so take that off the table. Secondly, if they get a red card and go down to 10 men, then we're in, because that's one of our sort of prerequisites to win a game. My biggest concern, honestly, Flex, if I'm being genuinely honest, no bullshit here. My biggest concern is we've already won in October. We've already used our quota.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, unless we take from next month's, we won't win a game in November. But we get 2 in October, because that's apparently how it how it works with Man United. We win 1 game a month. So I don't know. I'll be honest, the nerves haven't actually set in as much yet. No, I haven't really. Maybe it's because, like you said, international break's still kind of going on at the moment, and players aren't back yet. I mean, I get more nervous on game day, or when you see the players walking out onto the pitch or warming up. That's when I start going, "Oh shit, this is real. Now this is proper." But I'm not there just yet. Not there just yet.
No, you can't.
We'll see.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Understood, Captain. Aye. Right, we are looking towards the game. It's showtime, isn't it? Players will start to come back. I think a mixture of maybe today, probably tomorrow.
Yes.
This is it, mate. The Premier League is basically back. Big game, Liverpool. Please, man, please.
What are you saying please for? Please what? What are you saying please for?
Please just don't lose.
Please don't lose.
Yeah. Because we have got a draw the last couple of times we've been there. It hasn't been the massacre that we always thought it is. And last year was really good.
We were talking yesterday, weren't we? Saying, I remember not last season before last, when it was 0-0. It was full time, and then there was the whole celebration in the studio, wasn't there? Or I say celebration, just we didn't lose, cool. And then that got turned into.
That's why when we all thought it would be 8-0, we thought we'd lose.
And yeah, and then it was look how much the standards have fallen. If we drew it there again at the weekend, it would be the same, wouldn't it? Go, really good result.
Yeah, no, it would. It would, yeah.
Really good result. Take that. Yep. Cool. I mean, let alone for a win. When was it? It was red carpet a few weeks ago when KG said, do we have the minerals to how we would react if we won the game or if we lost the game? And it's the same question and the same answer. No. If we lost at Anfield, inevitably we will have the meltdown of, this is why we shouldn't have got too carried away after Sunderland. Nothing's really changed. We're shit. We're back in its relegation form again. We're back in the bottom half of the table. Blah, 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 blah. If we won, I tell you what, this corner, it's been fully turned, Flex. We're around that corner, Ruben. 2 games in a row, back-to-back Premier League wins. That's what we've got to talk about as well. Back-to-back Premier League wins. He would have done it. That would have been progress. Oh, Frank would be 3 games away from cutting his red hair. I mean, he's having to start to do other things. I saw he just had a shave the other day because he was well, yeah, he's clean shaven now.
Oh, God.
Looks different.
Yeah, he's got to just do other stuff because the hair's just going to keep hairing. So
yeah, exactly.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, yeah, we shall see. We shall see as we get close. I just want the game to be now. I just want to play the game now. I'm kind of excited.
I don't.
Not, if you get what I mean.
I'm enjoying the piece.
What the longer, yeah, before it just the carnage kicks in.
Yeah,
and then Brighton at home, Forest away, Spurs away. Oh, It's a hard run. It's a hard run. This one. All right, people. Big up to yourselves, fam. We had over 1,100 people watching for that show, which is good. So make sure you smash a like on the way out. Take care. We will see you on another video very, very soon. Take care, people. We are out of here.